YouTube channel. My name is Berry, and today we are going to be watching I Tried Restaurants from Kitchen Nightmares. I have watched a lot of Kitchen Nightmares. I know about Amy. I know about the pizza. I know that he sticks his finger in everything, so let's check it out.
Kitchen Nightmares is one of the most popular and iconic food shows to ever exist.
Yeah.
And the concept is pretty simple.
There's a restaurant that's failing, Gordon shows up, then he saves the day and everyone's happy.
Until you check the Google reviews and you realize they shut down 5 years ago. Why?
Watch it all the time.
But there's this one thing that's always bugged me.
Over 70% of restaurants featured on the show
Yeah.
still shut down.
Yeah.
So in this video, I'm visiting a few restaurants seen on Kitchen Nightmares that are still open to see if Gordon's help actually makes a lasting difference.
I feel like what's good about being on the show is you probably get, like, I don't know, exposure, and then people come in because they're excited to be on the not like on the show, but in the restaurant that was on the show, and then after that you kind of have to use that like new surge of popularity to, like, I don't know, become a part of the community. But that's going to be very difficult, and especially if you have a lot of debt.
Or is it all just good TV?
Good morning, everyone. It's time for breakfast, and what better place to visit than the restaurant featured on Kitchen Nightmares' Season 9 finale, Simmer Down Cafe. Located in Georgetown, Texas, this...
Oh, also, let me change the category. We were just playing Tomodachi Life. And I saw someone say, when's Tomodachi Life? We just played for an hour.
cute little spot was Season 9 finale, Simmer Down Cafe. Located in Georgetown, Texas, this cute little spot was established in 2017 by a man
I live there. I don't know why I said it like that.
named Chris Marino. What's crazy is that at the
Chris Marino. He kind of has, like, the vibe of, like, being on Pawn Stars. Or maybe he would be the expert.
time they were featured on the show, not only was Simmer Down Cafe extremely close to shutting down, but Chris's marriage was also in shambles.
No! Well, maybe they need to simmer down, like, the hate between the two of them and just find love.
Luckily, Gordon pulled up and pretty much saved the day, marriage and all, or at least that's what we saw on TV. Since this technically is the most recent restaurant to be fixed by Kitchen Nightmares, that makes it the perfect place to test whether or not Gordon's changes actually stuck around. So
Is there a new season? Like, is he still doing this, or are these, like, very old restaurants?
without further ado, let's head inside. Hi, good morning. Just a table for one.
Okay, so I just got seated, and I gotta say, the inside of this restaurant is actually really cute.
It's
Right when
cute.
you walk in, they
Okay, this is something that I feel is very weird to express, so stay with me here. I think it's cute when guys say cute. I don't feel like cute is normally in, like, guy vocabulary, so when a guy says it, I was like, oh, that's cute.
had a cozy looking waiting area that just feels like someone's living room. The walls are painted this bright teal color, and they even had this cool, funky record wall. This is super nice to see, especially because I'll be judging each of the restaurants I visit today based on the major issues Gordon faced when he first visited on the show.
Okay, well, normally he finds sludge, super expired food, dirty conditions, and don't even get me started on the ice machine. You know that's full of mold.
Now, food-wise, the menu is fairly simple. They've got all of your classic American breakfast dishes.
Ooh, wait, let me go back.
The menu is fairly simple. They've got all of your...
Look, I'm a big back. I got you. Big boy breakfast. 2 eggs, 2 pancakes, bacon, sausage, choice of fruit, hash browns or grits, and toast, wheat, white, or rye. Wow, no rye? Really? Ribeye and eggs. 12-ounce ribeye, 2 eggs, hash browns, toast, or biscuit. Biscuits and gravy. That's my favorite.
Classic American breakfast dishes, along with
Fried catfish. I don't think I've ever had fried catfish for breakfast, but I would try it.
some lunch options like burgers, sandwiches. Y'all get the gist. But personally, what I'm the most interested in is something called their liver and onion.
Oh, dude, I'm so cooked mentally that I always read that as liver now because all I do is watch VTubers.
I know that doesn't necessarily sound like the most appetizing thing to eat this early in the morning, but it is what Gordon ordered when he first came here, and he had some thoughts on it, so that's what I gotta get. Thank you so much. Ladies and gents, my food has finally arrived. Here we have a plate of liver and onions.
I never actually had liver and onions. Can anybody in chat vouch for it actually being delicious? Because I think I just really like gravy and mashed potatoes. And is that okra?
Served with mashed potatoes, some fried okra, and a biscuit.
What's crazy about this dish is that during the show, I believe Gordon actually made them take it off the menu.
Oh, and they say, you know what? Put it back on and smother it in gravy. We don't give a fuck.
It appears they've added it back. Whether that was a good idea or not, I'm not sure. But there's only one way to find out.
Oh my God, the onions look like intestines. Actually, right now he looks like a cute little turtle. There's his head, there's his shell, and his giant turtle legs.
So, this dish is definitely interesting. It's for sure.
Oh no. I hate when I hear this dish is interesting. It kind of has the same feel as if you're talking to somebody and then they go, that's crazy. Like you were so checked out.
They're not my favorite thing in the world, but I do want to be nice since I'm not quite sure what this dish is actually supposed to taste like. I don't know if this is like a good version of it or not. All I can really do is critique it based on my own personal palate, so keep that in mind. If I'm not mistaken, Gordon's biggest critique when he tried—
Oh yeah, this is new. Look at it. This is filmed in like, I don't know, 4K before it was on like a Nokia.
Tried this dish in the show was that it was too salty. Unfortunately, I will have to agree with that. Not only is it overly salty, but I think the liver itself, along with the caramelized onions, might be a little burnt. It has that like burnt, bitter aftertaste, if you know what I'm talking about. I promise, I'm not trying to be mean, but now that I've tried the liver, let's check out the sides.
It must be hard to be honest. Okay, that sounded bad. It's gotta be hard to be honest when you're eating at a restaurant that was previously known as a failure and you know that you have a big YouTube channel. So you don't want to be mean and you don't want to make it seem like you hate it, but you also want to be like supportive, but you don't want people to think that you really liked it because you actually didn't. So you have to be honest, but you don't want to be too honest because then it's aggressive.
The okra and the mashed potatoes, honestly pretty solid. Alrighty everyone, so I'm done eating and I'm finally ready to give y'all my
Somebody in chat just said, what?
official thoughts on Simmer Down Cafe. Like I said before, the inside of the restaurant is extremely adorable. The service was great, but the food though, yeah, that didn't really wow me. I will say this might not be the fairest critique since liver and onions might not be my ideal dish in the first place.
I mean, I probably would have got pancakes and bash browns and pigs.
With that being said, it is time to answer the question, did Gordon's changes actually stick?
Well, no, because they put it back on the menu.
From what I can tell, it seems like most of the physical changes like the decorations did, but since food really is the most important part, I'm gonna have to say no. But before anyone gets mad,
That doesn't mean
Grr! How did he say no?
I think this place is doomed or anything like that. I'm pretty sure liver and onions was added back to the menu at the request of a few regulars, so maybe that's not a bad thing. It is time to head to the next restaurant, which just so happens to be only a 12-minute drive away. But
Dude, I wish I was a regular somewhere. Like, I want to walk in and they go, the usual.
But before I start driving,
let's see what I'm getting myself into.
all right, everyone, I've now made it to Grumpy George Pub and Grub.
Oh,
I apologize for anyone offended by
fish
that
and
terrible
chips?
accent. I thought it fit the vibe.
The Grumpy George was established in 2023 and
Well, to be fair, like, if the chef is angry, the food's probably better. I mean, look at Popeyes. They hate me.
featured on the 8th episode of Kitchen Nightmares Season 9. According to the show, the restaurant is supposed to be a classic English pub, but unfortunately, it didn't feel very British.
Seeing that Gordon did grow up in England, I'm assuming he was a little offended by this place claiming to be a true British gastropub.
Dude, they gotta have, what is it called? Sticky toffee pudding. I have never had it, but I always see it on like TV shows or like this kind of stuff, like Kitchen Nightmares, and I want to try it so bad. It just looks so delicious.
That's why he wanted
And
to fix it so
wet.
badly. Let's go see if he managed to actually make a difference.
Now, what's really interesting about Grumpy George is that unlike most places on Kitchen Nightmares, the restaurant itself actually looked great from the start. Lots of reviews highlight that the inside does take people back to what old pubs in England feel like.
Oh, a British style bar. Wait, if you're at like a British pub, are you mainly just like throwing back beers? Like not like mojitos or anything?
because of their British-style bar, cozy atmosphere, and the fact that they have a dedicated dart room. Apparently that's a staple.
So instead of being upset about the decor, most of the issues Gordon faced came down to the food. If you take a look at their menu...
Okay, let's see. Fish and chips, delicious. Shepherd's pie, I'd try that. Ooh, and they did the thing that the Redditors like. Dude, Reddit, I'm sorry, I'm in a lot of niche Reddits. Reddit hates whenever you have shepherd's pie with ground beef because it's supposed to be lamb, and they actually have it with lamb. Bangers and mash, delicious. Grumpy smash burger. My dad taught me how to make a smash burger. New York strip steak. Bring in.
It definitely feels British, but when Grumpy George first...
Yeah, ground beef is cottage pie. But for some reason in the US, they'll put it as like shepherd's pie, like I would say 30% of the time.
Appeared on Kitchen Nightmares, they were serving up something completely different.
Even though one of the owners is from England, she didn't have any restaurant experience. Meanwhile,
that is insane. Like, I would say opening a restaurant is one of the scariest businesses you can ever have. And you don't have any experience? Oh, yes, I am a doctor, but I have no experience. Ow. Wait, CT, put a chainsaw in my hand. Well, here we go.
the chef they hired knew nothing about British cooking and was learning how to make the dishes from videos online.
If I'm not mistaken, Gordon literally had to do an entire overhaul of the recipes, so we'll see if those flavors stuck around. So my food's been ordered, and I am very curious how long it'll take to arrive. Not because I'm in like a rush or anything, but because...
During Gordon's first time watching the restaurant operate, food orders were taking up to 50 minutes just to arrive.
50 minutes? Dude, by that time I'm already done with my ranked game. What the hell?
Causing major issues. Hopefully that's not still a problem.
And what if I'm with somebody I don't even want to talk to? Then I gotta stare at them for 50 minutes? Yeah, I'm out. Call me Barbara.
Scotch egg.
Awesome, thank you.
Ooh, I had a Scotch egg at the Renaissance Festival and it was pretty good, but my farts were crazy. Okay, I forgot that was a fetish for some people. Like, it's supposed to deter you.
Do you need anything else?
That should be it.
Okay.
Ladies and gents, the food has arrived, and according to my timer, it's only been 10 minutes,
That's
which
not bad.
I don't know if you can do the math, but that's a lot less than 50. So here we
Yeah, that's like a fifth? A 50?
have a Scotch egg, which happens to be a quintessential British gastropub dish. And of course, since this place is British, your boy had to get some fish and chips. Now, the first thing I want to try are these Scotch eggs, because when Gordon was served them in the show, they were undercooked and apparently looked so bad, he took a photo of them and sent it to his mom. That's cool.
And what's she gonna do? Look at her.
Crazy work. From the looks of things, my Scotch egg is definitely more cooked
Okay, what is that in the middle? Pickle salad?
than the one Gordon got, considering it's not gushing everywhere. So far, so good. But let's see how this thing tastes.
No, not in the middle of the egg, you ding-dongs.
Cooked the
Right there in the ramekin. The Shrek balls.
than the one Gordon got, considering it's not gushing everywhere. So far, so good. But let's see how this thing tastes. Cheers.
Surprised you know the word ramekin, to be honest. Well, listen to this. Carafe.
That is actually pretty good.
Mise en place.
Like I said, the egg is not undercooked, but the yolk is still jammy, which I do prefer. The pork is seasoned extremely well. There's a good amount of salt, along with some other spices and herbs that I can't quite pinpoint. You'll just have to trust my word for it. I think it tastes pretty good. I also want to try
eat
this
it.
with their homemade piccalilli. I'm not entirely sure what that
Oh, piccalilli? What? A traditional English relish of pickled and chopped vegetables and a spiced savory mustard sauce. Okay, we're just making potions now?
is, but I'm assuming it's acidic. I'm still not quite sure what this is, but it definitely brightens up the entire thing. I like it.
Okay.
Pardon the humble flex that I'm about to drop here, but not only have I eaten at pretty much every single Gordon Ramsay fish and chips restaurant in America, I have also been to Gordon's cooking school in the UK and learned how to make proper fish and chips from the teachers that he employed. The reason
What? Dude, teach me! Please, 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 please. I'm so desperate, please.
And I'm bringing that up is pretty much to say, I know how this is supposed to taste. First things first, need some lemon. Now let's cut into it.
Do you guys put vinegar on your fish and chips or not? Because sometimes it seems like it's an option, but it just kind of goes boom, boom, boom. So you gotta be a little like, sprinkle, sprinkle.
Not bad. The inside of the fish still looks juicy, flaky, not dry, which is pretty much all you can ask for based off looks alone. Now let's taste it.
I love fish.
As expected, the fish is nice and flaky. It's cooked very well. Tartar sauce is solid. Although the exterior isn't super crispy, it is very light, which means after I'm done here, I will not fall into a food coma, which I appreciate. I know technically I should eat this with utensils, but it's kind of falling apart as I cut it, so I'm gonna use my hands.
For dessert, I ordered the sticky.
Yes! 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 Do you see what I'm talking about? Isn't this a sophisticated brownie? Dude, I want one so bad. And you know what I mean by wet now. Like, it's got that viscous substance on top. It's shimmering, oiled up, ready to go to the beach.
Toffee pudding, which is another British classic, and I will admit, it was very yummy. Then I paid the bill, which came out to roughly $53, and of course...
$53? Oh my God. I could have went to Whataburger and got Bitty Patty Melts.
Of course, I had to use my beautiful Chime card.
If you don't know what Chime is, not only are they the sponsor of today's video,
they're also America's #1 choice for banking, offering a smarter way to manage your money.
And with how much I spend making these videos, Chime helps me out a lot.
Fun fact, 82% of Americans...
It is sad. Okay, now that we're just yapping about this, it's sad. Like, back in my day, since I'm as old as a Piccadilly or whatever, Piccadilly, you would go out to eat by yourself, $10, okay? 53 bucks? That should pay for 2 people. And also, groceries. I could get groceries for a week for $50 at H-E-B. Oh, hell no, not anymore. Oh, hell no.
don't have a high-yield savings account.
And if that's you, that means you're losing out on money you could be earning just by having your savings in the right place.
With Chime's high-yield savings account, you can earn 3.75% APY, which is 9 times the national savings rate.
See, guys, I am a little Redditor. I know what a high-yield savings account is. I know about APY, 401k, taxes.
Super simple, too. All you gotta do is set it up, and your money grows automatically.
And that's not all. There are no monthly fees, no overdraft fees, and no minimum balance fees when you're banking with Chime. So considering that the average American pays almost $300 a year on fees with traditional banks, Chime is a no-brainer.
Right now, Chime has an amazing offer where if you sign up using my link in the description or by scanning this QR code, then set up qualifying direct deposits,
you'll get a $200 bonus.
That's actual cash, not points, by the way.
Again, that's a $200 bonus, plus you can earn 3.75% APY on your savings just by signing up for Chime using my link or scanning this big old QR code.
So I'm officially done with my meal at Grumpy George, which means I'm gonna stop doing this terrible accent now. Anyways, let's get right into things. From what I can tell, it seems like Gordon's changes have obviously stuck around. The food was great. It also came out really, really fast. And although I might not be the most qualified person to say this, I'm gonna say it anyways. I think the restaurant felt British. I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
Ooh, now we're going to Spain.
So I made it to Harrison, New Jersey, and the spot behind me is called the Spanish Pavilion.
Appearing on season 4 of Kitchen Nightmares, this spot has been around since 1976, and it's dubbed the first Spanish restaurant in New Jersey.
What's crazy is that Spanish Pavilion is only 1 out of 2 restaurants from that season that's still standing. Everyone else has since shut down, so let's go see why.
Oh my God, what happened? What was that one meme from forever ago? You never expect the Spanish Inquisition? I guess you never expect your Spanish restaurant to be shut down.
Now, upon entering the restaurants, I was honestly a little nervous. In the show, Gordon actually discovered a dead lobster inside their dining room fish tank.
Oh no! Larry!
Obviously, that was a huge health hazard, so before I could even think about eating, I had to make sure that situation did not happen to me.
I know we eat them all, but I'm just so American, so I never see, like, you know, the chicken die, the cow die, none of that. So I always feel bad when they're just in the tank. Like, they must be so bored. Like, they don't got iPad, they don't got Cocomelon, they don't got, like, Roblox. Like, they are very bored.
So I'm not sure if this place looks exactly like it did after it got its makeover on the show, but I do know that the goal was to make the inside feel brighter and more welcoming, which...
Okay, that's a little nicer. I mean, I'm a plant. I think it livens up the room a little bit, adds a little bit of nature. Bam.
After looking around, I think they're still doing a good job of.
Now, along with updating their decor, Gordon also had them introduce...
Did they have a dancer?
I think they're still doing a good job of.
Now, along with updating their decor, Gordon also...
That was... No. I thought that was a lady dancing. She was scratching her back. Okay. Wait a second. Look at the lady in the blue shirt.
After looking around, I think they're still doing a good job of.
Now, along with
I think I went back a little far.
their decor...
Right here.
Gordon also...
She's good. My bad.
also had them introduce tapas to the menu.
Oh, I love tapas. It's for me because I never know what I want. I'd rather have a little bit of everything. Like pan con tomate, patatas bravas, croquetas de patata, fabada asturiana, chupitos de cordero, champiñones con cangrejo, sardinas fritas, pancetta. I love that card!
Which are these small Spanish shareables.
Doing so
Spanish Jozu. Gracias.
helps differentiate them from the other 40-something Spanish restaurants nearby, which I think was a good idea. Now, as for what I'm gonna get, the first thing Gordon ordered when he came here was their paella. And
Oh, I love paella. I've never had it, but I love the way it looks.
he absolutely hated it.
So what better way to gauge whether Spanish Pavilion has actually improved than to get exactly that?
So I just placed my order, and another issue I want to point out from the show is that apparently the service here sucks.
No! The service can come mi culo!
When the show aired, the restaurant was run by two brothers named Michael and Jerry, who at the time didn't really care about the restaurant, resulting in the staff having no one to lead them.
I do believe
I was asleep at work. And I got one motherfucker watching BerryCrepe at Twitch in the back because I know some people in chat be typing hi, I'm at work. Then what are you doing here?
that in the reunion episode, though, it showed that Jerry ended up taking over, and that does show since the service so far for me has been absolutely fantastic, along with recommending me some tapas to try.
What is that? Soup with an essence of chicken noodle and 20 rolls of bread?
They immediately brought out some bread, and
This is my Minecraft inventory early game.
I think this is chicken noodle soup that comes with my meal. It is quite chilly in New Jersey, so chicken noodle soup does sound pretty good. Cheers. You know, that's a pretty good chicken noodle soup. It's very cozy. It's not like the craziest thing I've ever had, but it comes with my meal, which means it's free. Can't complain.
Yeah, I love
Ooh,
free
thank
food.
you so much.
It tastes even better when you don't pay for it.
Can I get you anything else?
No, this is fantastic. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I got some bread in my mouth, but the appetizers have arrived. This right here are some artichoke hearts. And
I'd
over
try
here,
that.
we have their braised pork belly.
I love pork belly and it makes me feel so sloppy.
First things first, I'm gonna try these artichokes because vegetables. Cheers.
I normally get my vegetables on my burger.
Ooh, that's good. Wait, what? You know when you eat something and you really can't control the facial expression you make? That was the
Yeah.
vibe that just happened right there. First off,
This is me when I eat a chocolate bar.
the artichoke itself is super tender. It's cooked extremely, extremely well. What I wasn't expecting was that the sauce that's on it, it's kind of tangy. It's really bright. I don't normally eat artichokes, but if I were to eat them more often, this is how I'd want them cooked. Now that the healthy green stuff is out of the way, time for some pork belly.
Yummy.
Now I know I should probably cut this into a smaller piece, but
I can do that.
okay. There is no way the food tasted like this before they got on the show. Otherwise, I don't think they would have ever needed to get on Kitchen Nightmares. The pork belly is super tendy. The pork belly is super tender, it's rich, it's like super salty, but the acidity from the diced tomatoes on top really balances it out. Overall, flavor-wise, that was absolutely fantastic.
Guys, I have something to admit today. I grew up. I had fish and it had tomatoes on top, and I actually liked the tomatoes. I hadn't tried tomatoes in at least 20 years, and I actually liked it. I know. It added a little bit of like freshness. They were a little sweet. It was good.
With the tapas being this good, my expectations for the paella are honestly through the roof right now.
Paella. Let me get you a dinner plate.
Dude, paella's
Thank you.
always huge. Where is with the tombstone?
Ladies and gentlemen, the paella has arrived. Honestly, when I first saw that it cost $36, I was thinking,
Yeah, it's
okay,
like a
might be a little
table thing.
expensive. But now that it's in front of me, this looks worth every single dollar.
That shit looks like a Tomodachi Life PNG.
This is beautiful. So the one I
Wow.
ordered is the Paella Valencia. I was told by my waiter that this is the exact same one that Gordon ordered on the show. So, you know, making sure I'm doing things right. In this skillet, there's chicken, chorizo, shrimp, clams, mussels, scallops, calamari,
And my fingernails.
and langoustines.
Oh,
this
that's
is
it.
hands down the best looking entree I think I've ever ordered in the history of this channel. I don't even want to break into it because that's how pretty the skillet looks, but I'm gonna do it anyways, because that's my job.
Oh, I want my job to eat.
I think I've died and gone to seafood heaven. My brain's malfunctioning. So far, 2 out of the 3 major issues Gordon faced when visiting Spanish Pavilion have been cleared, but none of that
Well, he is missing something. He should ask for a kids menu and see if it's the one that's blank on the back so you can draw on it with the provided crayons, or if they put the stupid little games like, I don't know, what is it called? Tic-tac-toe. You gotta know. I like the drawing space. I'm not here to do a maze.
matters if this paella isn't good.
Oh my God, he's falling in love.
For all my Kitchen Nightmares fans, you need to visit this place. This paella is absolute perfection.
Wait a second. I thought of something. Is the KFC classic bowl American paella? It's mashed potatoes, chicken nuggets with corn and gravy and cheese.
First off, it feels like every single element in it, whether it's the chicken, the chorizo, the calamari, it feels like all of those items were cooked individually. Nothing is dry. The rice is fluffy and nice. Flavor-wise, there is so much going on. I am genuinely so impressed by this paella.
Yeah,
and I
I
haven't
need
even
it.
tried every single part of it. Oh yeah, also, surprise, Jim's here. He's feeling a little shy today though.
Dude, I go to you every morning. What's up, man?
So that's why I haven't been filming him, but I really wanted him to try the paella. Good?
Yeah!
All right, everyone. As you can probably tell by my face, your boy's full. I feel like I cleared a good amount of this paella, even though it doesn't look like I've even made a dent. But regardless, I gotta admit, I
I'd
wasn't
eat it.
expecting too much before walking in here. But after trying the food, I am thoroughly impressed. When Gordon first walked in, it was indeed a nightmare. But in my experience, the restaurant was extremely welcoming. The service
And look, they have customers. Like, there's people eating here. They're not like customer botting.
was absolutely fantastic. And most importantly, this paella was the bomb diggity. This was phenomenal.
Taking all that into consideration, I think it's safe to say that Gordon's changes definitely stuck around and made a huge difference.
I'd eat here.
All right, everyone, things are about to get a little crazy because I've officially made it to sunny Los Angeles, California.
Sorry, I hate going to LA.
If you don't get shot in the street, the smog will kill you.
And behind me is the one and only Lido D Manhattan.
Featured on season 3, which aired over 15 years ago, this Manhattan Beach staple is often considered the most successful Kitchen Nightmares project.
Jesus, you scared the fuck out of me.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest, it did sound like I just got stabbed or robbed. I don't know why I reacted so viscerally.
project ever.
But when Gordon first came to visit, this place was a mess. The owner barely knew how to cook, the kitchen was disgusting, and worst of all,
Oh, that looks like my room, and that is not a compliment.
the food was downright terrible. Clearly the impact Gordon had on this place made a huge difference considering how long they've been open. Not to mention, every single article I could find was extremely positive. However, I want to see for myself if it really lives up to the hype. Okay, now I'll go inside for real.
I've always wondered about that. Dude, and I will say, the reason I like his videos whenever he goes into the restaurants is he's so respectful. He doesn't have like the meta glasses all up in somebody's face. He's not like going, "How are you today? Where is my table?" Like, he's very respectful. I think that's hard to find.
Hello, I had a reservation. Yeah, just for one.
Now I gotta admit, I was a little thrown off when I walked inside here, because even though Lido's has a great reputation, this place was completely empty.
Huh?
As I sat down and looked over the menu, unfortunately, I did begin assuming the worst.
Uh-oh, LA prices? Is that gonna be the problem here?
What if the reviews are all wrong and Lido's actually fell off? But thankfully, in the midst of all my worrying, I'm not sure if y'all can hear that, but other customers have arrived. Are we back?
I really don't know why
We're
the place
so
being empty
back.
at first threw me off so much. I'm gonna blame it on the fact that I'm extremely hungry, and the only thing I've eaten today is a bag of pretzels on the plane right here.
I love
I'm also
pretzels.
finished looking over the menu, and I gotta say, the food options do sound
I gotta see the prices. Clam linguine, 26 bucks. Okay, that sounds about right. Mushroom parappa the rappa? I have no idea. Chicken piccata, I love chicken piccata.
quite tasty. Because they are considered the most successful Kitchen Nightmares project ever, I'm gonna do things a little differently and order a few items to really put them to the test. So my food has been ordered, and like I said before, when Gordon first visited this place, they had a multitude of issues. But the biggest one had to be with the owner herself.
This is Lisa Hemmett. She became the owner of Lido's in 2004, and upon meeting her for the first time,
She's kinda
Gordon
pretty.
quickly exposed how inexperienced she was.
Why is everybody owning a restaurant when they have no idea what they're doing?
Not only had she never worked in restaurant management,
Stop! Again? Come on, you guys. At least work at, like, I don't know, a steakhouse or something. You don't gotta own it. Just, like, at least work there once.
before, she did not know how to cook.
Yeah. Yeah, we can tell. Yeah. Wait, what do you mean? Her cooking's not fire?
Couldn't communicate properly with the staff, and if all that wasn't bad enough, she was even dating one of her employees.
Oh, devious boss.
Okay, what I was gonna say is this is more common than you think. Like, everybody in the restaurant industry is dating each other, and if they're not dating, they are like, it's very common.
The good news is, although the episode started off rocky, by the end, Gordon was able to get through to her and supposedly helped to turn things around.
I'm pretty sure she still is the owner, and based off of how things are running so far, despite the fact that the place was like empty when I walked in, things do seem to be going well. Service has been great. They even brought me free bread.
Which I may have demolished.
Oh, I love the free bread that comes with the oil. Oh my God, that's how I look eating that. It's so good.
While waiting for my food.
Thank you. Ladies and gents, the appetizers have arrived. So over here we have Lido's baked eggplant roll.
Okay,
and some
I'll try
barbecue
it.
chicken flatbread. Now first things first, I have to try this baked eggplant roll because this dish is also the first thing Gordon ordered when he came here.
He wasn't a fan though, and said it was weirdly crunchy while also being undercooked.
Originally, my plan was to get Gordon's exact order, but it seems like a few of the other items he got aren't available anymore. This is literally the only one.
Wait, this was the place with the tuna tower. Dude, I actually do like tuna towers. I think they're really, really good.
One left. So I'm assuming they've learned how to do it right, but we'll see. Smells pretty good. Cheers. So right away, I can confirm, flavor-wise, it's actually very nice. The eggplant has a slight sweetness to it that pairs really, really well with the tomato sauce. And as for the texture, it's nice and tender, perfectly cooked.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice
it seems
and
like keeping
tendy.
it on the menu was a good idea after all. Yeah, that hits. Next, let's try this barbecue chicken flatbread, which I did have some very specific reasons for ordering.
The first being that my waiter recommended it, and you gotta trust your waiter. And
Dude, I always do that. I'm so annoying. I'm like, what do you recommend? Oh, yeah, I'll try it. Oh, yeah. What do you recommend to drink? And what do you recommend for dessert? I love to be peer pressured.
secondly, Gordon was the one that made them add flatbreads to the menu in the first place.
Cheers. This is also quite nice. The chicken is still nice and juicy. It's not
That shit looks like it's on croissant.
dry, which honestly, I wasn't expecting. The flatbread crust is nice and crunchy, while at the same time, the inside is still pretty airy for the most part. I think my only critique is that the barbecue sauce might be a little too sweet for my personal taste, but it's
That
not
always
bad.
happens.
So far, it seems like the items Gordon played a part in, quite tasty.
But what about a dish he didn't influence?
According to the menu, this is Lido's famous
Vodka
spicy
pasta?
vodka pasta.
Yeah, I know. I be chefing it up. You can go be cooking, mama.
And the reason why I say famous is because that's literally what they put on the menu. Personally, I've never seen it go viral, but as long as it's good, I don't care if it's famous or not. Here goes nothing. Cheers.
I love vodka pasta, and I'm not an alcoholic. Is it
Hold on a
gonna
second.
explode?
I'd like to take one more bite. All right, everyone. I've confirmed my feelings about this pasta. Initially, I thought this would be too good to be true, but Lido's spicy vodka pasta is gas. This is really good. The sauce is a fantastic consistency.
That would give me gas. Yeah, I'm lactose intolerant too.
It's not too thick, not too watery. It just nicely coats the noodles. Flavor-wise, everything's great. It's exactly what you'd expect out of a spicy vodka pasta. It's got a nice little kick to it. Despite the fact that I am holding them to higher standards than the other Kitchen Nightmare restaurants, it's safe to say they are matching and maybe even exceeding them. I am thoroughly impressed.
Wow, and people are coming in.
Hopefully that transition looks cool.
Dude,
Most useless My Hero stand or My Hero ability or quirk.
I can put takeout boxes immediately.
Sign him up.
I'm filming with my back camera right now, so I can't actually see myself. I don't know if things are lined up properly. As everyone can probably tell, I'm really full. I think the water and bread in the beginning kind of caught up with me. Now, before I pack
that
up and
always
go leave my
happens.
final review, there is one more thing here that I have to check out.
During the reunion episode,
Oh, wait, he came back. Dude, why does he look so angry though?
This is like VR chat screenshot.
Lisa actually invited Gordon back to the kitchen to prove how clean it is.
Wow, dude, he should just run his tongue on the railing.
Nice.
So after asking my waiter, who then had to ask a manager, I somehow was able to get the same opportunity. So I got up and made my way towards the kitchen, curious to see if they really do keep it spotless. Because if they don't, it doesn't matter how good the food is.
Ladies and gents, looking clean. All right, everyone, so I'm
Was he wearing non-slips?
officially done with my meal, and I can honestly say I definitely understand why Lido's is considered Kitchen Nightmare's biggest success story. The kitchen was clean, the service was fantastic, the food was
That is way cleaner than the Chili's kitchen. I'll let you know now, that place was disgusting. Straight up dirt bomb. That was so bad.
spot on, and throughout my meal, the place did start filling up, which was nice to see. Based on those factors, it's definitely clear that Gordon's
Barry, you should do a 3D stream one day so I can give you a head pat.
I'm about to blow your goddamn mind.
changes stuck around. However, despite me having a good time at most of these surviving spots, it's still a fact that over 70% of restaurants featured on the show shut down.
So the real question is, does Gordon Ramsay actually save restaurants?
Yes.
In my opinion, I think he genuinely tries, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to what those restaurants do.
Yeah, I mean, you can't fix stupid. What if somebody doesn't want to help? Then what? They're just gonna go back to what they were doing, or what if they're stubborn?
With that opportunity. I'm just glad the ones I visited have made the most of it.
Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I super appreciate it. If you're new here, please come by the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/BerryCrepe.
Or use code Berry for 10% off your gamer subs order. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a great evening. Goodbye!